Hello. Hello again. Welcome to day 2 of our 5-day saving challenge. So, I have to be honest. Yesterday, when I got off of our live, I went straight to bed and did not get back up until I woke up this morning. I was very tired. So, I am feeling much better today, and I am ready to talk about one of my favorite topics. And while I wait for the comments to start popping up, I want to know, how do you grocery shop? Like, what's your plan of attack? What day do you go? How do you approach grocery shopping? Let me know in the comments. While you do that, I hope that you were able to get today's worksheet so that you can follow along. Got some good tips for you today, and you guys had such great tips for each other yesterday. So I hope that you will continue to chime in while I'm teaching and share anything with me. So I am still waiting for any comments to pop up. I don't know. Facebook is so fickle. It will wait until like 10 minutes in to show me any comments, and then it will only show me some, and I'll have to scroll. And so it's hard to do this and see if you guys are with me at the same time. I know some of you are with me. Say hi in the chat at least. I can't see any comments yet, but maybe I can see them on my phone. I don't know. But I'm so excited. Yes, I'm starting to see them. Okay, here they come. Alrighty. So Tina has a specific list of what she needs, and then goes on the weekends. Shaylee goes on Mondays with a menu plan and a budget. Usually shopping every 2 weeks. But this month going for once a month. So I used to do that when it was just Travis and I was a vegetarian for 10 years, and so I always, even during a no spend challenge, would get produce regularly, because that was just a very non-negotiable thing for me. I had to have fresh produce. So, but other than that, we would try and just go as little as possible, because the more you stay out of the store, the less you spend. That's a great strategy. Um, Go whenever new ads are on. Yes. Wednesday is when Aldi ads are new. So if you can go on Wednesdays, it's great at Aldi. I am a Sunday shopper or a Sunday picker upper. So, hey there, Judy. Parava, go whenever. Yes, that's whenever new ads are on sale. Ellie, just wander into the store and 2 hours later spend $300. You are not alone. So many people do that. Making a loose list and going on the weekends. Nina, but I have to be honest, I always browse through the aisles. Yep, they get ya. Kim, try to do planning based on what's in season. Sometimes hit up Aldi if I'm in a town that has it. So, yeah, seasonal shopping is super helpful, because if there's an abundance of something, it's going to be on sale. Ash says during the pandemic, we've been using Amazon Prime grocery delivery. A great service if you have Amazon Prime. And it helps stay on budget since we're not browsing in person. Yeah, studies have shown actually that if you are shopping online, you spend less than when you're in store, because of that instant gratification. You're not getting instant gratification, though we have gotten used to 2-day Amazon delivery or shipping, but you're not getting that instant gratification like you would in a store. So that's really helpful. Andy uses the cash system. Brooke follows book plan the beginning of last year but lost it. Moving, yeah. Last year threw a lot of people's budgets into a tailwind. It was a year. Allison sets a $400 budget for the month with a family of 4 to 6, depending on the days. That's pretty good. All right, cool. Well, it's awesome to see how you guys shop, because food shopping is seriously the question I get asked about the most. Whether it is groceries or restaurants, anything food related is where people tend to overspend the most. And it's because food is essential. So you have to buy it. It's finite, so you have to buy it regularly, and you eat several times a day, so it's always top of mind. So the question becomes, where's the line between necessary and discretionary? And food and eating is an animal in and of itself. Like, I can't tell you what food you should or shouldn't be eating because that's separate from money. Yes, some diets are more expensive than others. Some lifestyles require a higher grocery bill. That's just how it is. I can't fit your keto diet into a beans and rice budget. But that does not mean that you can't cut costs and that you have to sacrifice health to pay off debt. You might need to sacrifice some bacon, though. That is my one hard hitting thing. So I'm going to give you 3 strategies that you can use no matter what your diet is that will save you money. And something that a lot of you guys have already mentioned is meal planning. So, how do we meal plan more efficiently and make meal planning a habit so that we can stick with it? So, what I like to do is I like to pick a recipe blog that I'm into that week and then choose 4 or 5 recipes from that blog. And usually, you can go to the homepage of a recipe blog, and the newest ones are usually ones that are in season. So, like I said before, like seasonal produce, when there's an abundance of it, that's when it's on sale. So, you can go to these recipe blogs, and usually they'll have the most seasonal recipes right up front, or you can search for what's in season and just search the recipe blog for there. There are so many recipe books and blogs and meal plans and everything. Make it as easy as possible for you. Take as many decisions away as possible and just go with one um, book or blog or theme for the week, and then just choose 4 to 5 recipes. And then leave room for if you do eat out, or if you incorporate a freezer meal, or if you have leftovers. So normally, I will just, depending on the week, choose 4 to 5. And then when that becomes unsustainable, because in some seasons, meal planning like that is unsustainable. When we are in really busy seasons, it can become just a hassle, and then we don't follow through with our meal plan and we go out to eat every day. For me, it's Taco Bell every day. Um, it's That's me. So I will use a meal planning service. And so these are services that cost maybe like $8 a month, but they tell you what to eat every month. And typically you can choose between a few of them. They have different like diets plans. And so you can pick a service that has the diet plan you like, sign up for 3 to 6 months at a time. I rarely do a year because I like to plan. And so I'll plan, and then 3 months, and I'm kind of like stressed out and busy. And so then I'll do 3 months with one of these meal planning services. And so it's a smidge more expensive, but then I get to go back and forth, and I don't feel like I'm wasting my money if a few months I want to make my own meal plans on some of my favorite meal planning blogs. So, ones I use, like, yes, Andy says Plan to Eat is a fantastic meal planning service. I love Eat at Home. So, Eat at Home Cooks. And I will post links to these in the comments too. Or Cook Smarts. Those are my 2 favorites. And then also Emails is a popular one. So, I know Cook Smarts has a paleo plan and vegetarian. And then Eat at Home has a vegan, and then also like no flour, no sugar plan. So it just depends what kind of diet I'm going with right now. If I'm going with a recipe blog, Charisse asked what my favorite recipe blogs are. I love Budget Bites. That is a tried and true. Cookie and Kate, because I spent 10 years as a vegetarian, so I love vegetarian blogs. And also, the more you cut out meat, the more money you will save. I'm sure when you look at your grocery bill, one of the highest things on there is always the meat. So either like reducing or eliminating meat in a few meals every week can drastically cut your grocery bill. So I like looking Minimalist baker. I was never vegan, but if I wanted to try out some vegan stuff, that's where I would go. And really, I would use Pinterest and I would look at, I would not Google specific recipes, but I would Google maybe like 3 ingredient dinners or 5 ingredient dinners because I am not a chef. I do not love to cook. I love to eat. And so I cook so that I can eat. I also work out so I can eat. So I just search for easy or low ingredient or basic ingredient stuff. So that's kind of how I do it. But I love Cookie and Kate, Budget Bites, Damn Delicious. Those are some of my tried and true ones. Recipe Tin Eats, those things. Um, so meal planning, I go back and forth with my own and buying the subscription. But when we were paying off debt, we were exclusively self meal planning. That was just one of the extra things we had to do because we were trying to keep our grocery bill at $50 a week. It was just the two of us. So we did that by eating exclusively vegetarian and doing our own meal planning. But now that we're debt free, I do use Cook Smarts and Eat at Home kind of interchangeably. So, yeah, and I will post all of the recommendations I'm making into the group after the live is over for sure. All right, so the second recommendation I make is to grocery shop online. Like I said before, when you stay out of the store, you do less impulse buying because you're not getting the instant gratification. You do less browsing and less looking around out of boredom and less rushing if you have kids. Like, there's just so much good stuff to be said about grocery shopping online. And so most of the time you have two options. I think in our city we have two options. So you can go to the major ones and do Instacart, or we have Walmart grocery pickup. So I love Aldi, but they use Instacart, and some of the things on Instacart are marked up while there is free pickup. So because I have Walmart available to me that doesn't mark up its prices and has free pickup, that's the one I use most often. I will also post a link that you can get $10 off your first Walmart grocery order. So I use Walmart pretty exclusively and then just go into Aldi for diapers and pouches and, some special buys here or there. But if you don't have Walmart grocery available to you, sometimes it can still be more beneficial to use Instacart pickup than to shop. The amount you pay in a little markup can still save you more than the whole items that you are buying on impulse. And so sometimes that means you can buy some pre-packaged, pre-cut veggies. I will do that if I need to cut down on time. Like, I hate cutting butternut squash, but if I want to eat it, then I will buy it pre-cut because I can just, I won't eat it. If I can't get it pre-cut, I won't eat it because I hate cutting butternut squash. So that's a personal thing. But sometimes I will buy pre-cut stuff to save time so that I follow through with my meal plan. So number 3 is actually to meal prep. And that is in order to follow through with the meal plan. Because raise your hand oh, Ash, yes, whole butternut squash is my nemesis. Yes, I am with you. But raise your hand if you are guilty of meal planning and shopping, and then Wednesday comes and you're like, meh, I can't do this anymore. I just need to eat out. Because that is me. I need to put every bit of safeguard in place to follow through with my meal plan. So that involves some meal prepping. So whether that is buying the pre-chopped butternut squash or pre-chopping veggies for the week, or maybe you cook everything and reheat throughout the week. depending on what you want. The easiest is to cook everything and then just reheat. If you don't like leftovers, like I'm more of a fresh cooked meal kind of person, then I prep all the veggies and then put them in containers and then dump them in. And I use those same containers that the veggies or whatever were stored in to store any leftovers. So that's less dishes because I hate dishes as well. If butternut squash is my nemesis, dishes are like my second nemesis. It's really bad. So those are kind of the safeguards that I use to do that. Meal prepping takes away the excuse to not eat the food you have at home because it's literally quicker and easier to eat the food that you've already prepped. So you want to make it as easy to follow through with these life changes as possible because paying off debt involves a lot of life change. So making like sitting with these hard things is going to make you give up a lot quicker. So you have to make it as easy as possible. Another way to meal prep is by making freezer meals. So what I will do is I will make about 6 freezer meals on a Sunday and then just put them in, and that will last me 3 to 6 weeks depending on how busy I am. But freezer meals are really a lifesaver. If you know you're going to be busy, you can incorporate them into your meal plan, but they're also pretty easy to defrost in the microwave. You literally just put it in there for 2 minutes. It doesn't cook it. It doesn't affect anything with the plastic, like 1 or 2 minutes, and then take it out and you can throw it in an Instant Pot, and it's pretty good to go then. So freezer meals are really a lifesaver with meal prep. And so those are kind of the 3 ways you can make sure that you follow through with your meal plan. And then also grocery shopping online to stay out of the store, keep yourself away from those impulse buys. So I'm going to take some time to answer questions. So I have a question from yesterday that I wanted to start with. It is from Connie, and she asked, what's your take on food delivery options like Misfit Market that say they're less expensive? So this one is really subjective to where you live, because from what I believe, it's the same price nationally, but depending on where you live, groceries are a different price. So if I live in like rural Alabama, where groceries are very affordable, then even Misfit Market might be like more expensive. But if you're in LA or New York City, where fresh produce tends to be pricier, then this could be a good option. And their marketing says that they're less expensive, and that's probably where they're saying they're less expensive then. So you have to look at your produce options. I would say look at, there are produce stands and produce markets that are kind of like Misfit markets in your own town. So I would look, do a few hours in one day and kind of look at different produce markets to see which ones are cheapest, if they're cheaper than your local grocery store. I found that in our city they were pretty comparable to Aldi, maybe a little cheaper, but it wasn't worth me going to 2 different places to get things. Now, if I was doing a pantry challenge and I'm only eating things out of my pantry and fridge, but I do want to incorporate some fresh vegetables, then one of those produce markets, with the Misfit toys, could be a great option because then I'm not tempted by everything else that's in the grocery store. I'm only going in there for fresh produce, and that's all that's available, so that's all I'm getting. So that could be a great option for you there. But it really comes down to you have to do your own research for your store, your produce, and what's available. Let's see. How do you store your freezer meals? So I put them in a plastic bag, and I am going to start One of my goals for 2021 is to get some reusable plastic bags because I have traditionally used gallon-sized plastic bags from Aldi. But I want to get gallon-sized plastic or silicone bags for them now. I've just always been so nervous about them, like not closing them all the way and them seeping out. But if you can either flatten them so they're flat, or you can store them upright so um, they freeze in a mold that's almost can go right into the Instant Pot depending on how much room you have in your freezer. So you can even take one of those large Pyrex glass containers that can sit right in your Instant Pot or slow cooker and freeze it, put the bag in there so it freezes in a perfect circle. You can do that. Shaylee wants to know, can you post some freezer meal suggestions? I don't have an Instant Pot or microwave, so we bake or use our crock pot. So crock pot is great. I like it better than baked freezer meals. So Instant Pot is my favorite way to do it, pressure cook, because you can do it real quick. If you have raw meat, you cannot put that in a crock pot because that puts it at an unsafe temperature for too long. So just make sure if you are doing a freezer meal in the crock pot, you are using pre-cooked meat or it's vegetarian. So I do have some favorite freezer meals. Actually, I think I made a YouTube video about that, so I will post that in here. But then if you're doing a baked freezer meal, I would do it very thin because they take a long time to defrost and then a long time to bake. And then sometimes they turn out a little watery. So that is kind of solved in an Instant Pot because it's meant to be, you want a little water in there. So go with something that's a little kind of sheet panny for a baked freezer meal is what I would recommend. When you place an order online, can you use coupons? Not with Walmart, and I don't think with Instacart. So if you are a couponer, I personally hate coupons. I don't like to coupon, and that's me. For me, couponing takes too much time. If you're a couponing pro and you like couponing, then that would not be the way to go for you. But I find that avoiding impulse purchases and avoiding the temptations of buying extra just because it's on sale saves me more money than saving $1 here or there with a coupon. Now, you can use your receipt to get cash back through like Fetch Rewards, which doesn't, maybe save you a couple dollars like a coupon. So you can do that. Let's see. I've definitely improved since listening to Frugal Friends. Thank you, Amika. Let's see. Mallory uses a vacuum sealed bag, no freezer burn. I would love to try that one day. I haven't been able to I have a small kitchen with not a lot of storage, and that's intentional. So I haven't been able to like put another thing in my kitchen. But I think that's a great idea if you have one or if it's something that you want. Let's see. Yes. Your Walmart grocery can sync to Ibotta as well. Yes, Brooke. Great stuff in here. Kim makes enchiladas for freezer meals, so those are pretty good too. You can get those pretty thin. I have tried lasagnas and bakes like that, and they just don't turn out great. But if you keep it thin and keep it like sheet pan level, then it can be very good. So, but the Instant Pot is my favorite. I actually have a Ninja Foodie, not an Instant Pot, but everybody like knows an Instant Pot's a pressure cooker. I'm a Ninja fangirl. So I have the Foodie, and it is an air fryer and a pressure cooker. So I can take frozen stuff and pressure cook it, and then like broil it in the same thing for 10 minutes, and it's everything. Especially because we live in Florida, so I don't turn on my oven in the summer. It's like a necessity. So I hope that you guys got a few tips either from here or in the comments. I will be posting freezer meals, links to the meal planning and Walmart. I might be able to find a $10 off link for Instacart if you want that. I'll find what I have and I'll post it in here. And then the replay will be available immediately after this, as well as I'm posting it on modernfrugality.com/challenge dash replays. So it will be there tomorrow. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and we're gonna have a great rest of our week. So, bye.